thank all of you for joining us, and I mean all of you. It's quite the crowd pouring in. And thank you to Kinokuniya for hosting us. I had copies of the DVD right here, but it disappeared. As you know, I hope you know, we are out on digital right now, so you can get Batman Ninja right this second on digital anywhere, and you can get it on Blu-ray and DVD, Blu-ray combo pack, Steel combo pack, the whole works on Tuesday, May 8th. Who was there last night and saw it?
Yeah.
Who has already bought the digital version?
No, I want physical.
All right, you guys are excellent. All right, well, let's get to it. We're going to do a little Q&A here with just us talking, and then we'll open the floor up to you guys chatting away, and then we'll do a signing. Sound good to you?
Yeah.
All right, do we need to filter more people on in and into the back? That's right. All right. Terrence is working on expanding the store right now.
Yes, I got my potential plans
All right, so let me introduce our panelists. We have noted playwright, novelist, and screenwriter. You knew him from Kill la Kill and Gurren Lagann. And he wrote the screenplay for Batman Ninja. Say hi to Kazuki Nakashima. The man responsible for the avatar design on the Japanese award-winning Summer Wars. Writer and illustrator of Afro Samurai. And the character designer of Batman Ninja, Takashi Okazaki. Now, Bob speaks a lot more English than anyone's ever going to know, but they will be interpreted here by our stealth ninja interpreter, Mari Morimoto. You know her as Wonder Woman in the DC Superhero Girls. You know her from 19 years in the Scooby-Doo franchise as Daphne. Say hi to our Catwoman, Selena Kyle. Great. All you Powerpuff Girl fans. Maniacs, I like it. How about any bronies here? All right. From Team Titans, Raven. Batgirl and Harley Quinn. You actually get to see this guy on the television and movies in person. You see his face, not just his voice. But tonight we've got him as the Joker. Say hi to from Arrested Development and Veep, Tony Hale. Sonic the Hedgehog. Batman. Roger Craig Smith. All right, so I'll start with filmmakers. What objective, what rules were you set to follow, for starters, doing a Batman film?
まあ、この作に関してどれほどその上からとか指示受けたりこのルールは絶対破れないと言われましたか？
ほとんどなかったんですけど、ただバットマンは、人を殺さない。でだから銃とか撃つ時も物は壊すけれども人には撃たない。それだけは守ってくれと言われました。
So we had relatively a lot of freedom. In fact, I would say we had almost no rules. The only thing we were told was, of course, Batman does not kill anyone. He may destroy a lot of things, but he does not kill any living beings. なんか指示受けましたか？
デザインに関しては、本当に自由でしたね。はい。まあちょっとセクシーすぎたりするとちょっともうちょっと隠してくださいっていうのはありましたけど。
So, from a design standpoint, I also had a lot of freedom. I do recall though that some of the initial design, the sketches I submitted, they said, could you cover them up a little bit? You know, I guess I was showing a little too much skin. Who? Poison Ivy, I think.
Harley.
And Harley, of course. And Catwoman.
Thank you.
That's all the main female characters. I guess so.
Kara, great. Did you think they covered too much skin?
I was wondering how Catwoman fights with those big giant boobies.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if Catwoman was the cover-up, I want to see the original. Maybe you could put out like an X-rated version.
Call it catnip. We can do a little special, couldn't we, sister? We'll get along just for the filming.
I mean, there's no question there's going to be a lot of cosplay based on these designs. They're beautiful, and I don't think they're gratuitous. They're super sexy, but I think they look really good.
Also for the filmmakers, I want to know how you guys collaborate. I mean, who pushes who along to the extremes? The script, the design, the direction. I imagine you guys are truly lifting each other's games.
で、その皆さん制作チームに関してコラボと聞いてるんですけど、誰が誰を支えたんですか？それ誰が一番なんかやっぱり力が強かったり、一番上に立ったりされたんですか？
みんながみんなを支えましたね。で全員弾かない人だったんで、誰かが面白いアイデアを出すと、それに対して誰かがもっと俺が、中島、岡崎、水崎、この繰り返しで、作品を作ったんで。
I would say it was a pretty equivalent in terms of we all supported each other fairly equally. However, despite saying that, none of us really wanted to retreat in the face of adversity. So, first of all, you know, I would produce the script idea, or story idea, and then Mr. Okazaki would be like, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to produce this design. And then the director, Misaki, who unfortunately couldn't be here, would be like, in which case I want this kind of action. And then I'd come back and say, no, then we can make the story even better. And we kind of almost were like a Jenga pile.
でもと言ってもやっぱり中澤さんの最初のアイディアから結構僕と美咲さんはそれに負けないアイデアを乗っけなきゃと思って結構必死にやってましたけどね。
No, but I guess, you know, the originator, the first idea, the first little seedling would come from Mr. Nakashima. So, you know, for me and for director Misaki, it was more of a, oh man, that's such a great idea. We have to come up with something even better. And we, you know, rack our brains to keep coming up with new and better ideas.
For our actors down at that end, splitting those one microphone between you. Hey, you all have played, or most of you have played these characters in different iterations. How did you approach this version, and how much did the character design influence that direction?
I said this last night, I feel like all my answers are old, but when I'm in the video games, Catwoman's a little bit more, just a little tougher than me, you know, this kitty has claws. But after seeing the beautiful, delicate costumes and the hats and the veils and all the femininity that they brought to Catwoman this time, I lightened her voice just a little bit more, so she had just a little bit more of a light quality and just a little tweak here and there, a little catnip tweak.
Yes, you're very sexy. So obviously this Harley is different than DC Girls Harley. Your superheroes are different than DC Girls because that's geared towards a younger audience. So this was very mature, I thought a little bit more realistic, even though Harley gets crazy. And the art is so beautiful that you kind of want to honor that and make sure it all feels like it goes together. So once, you know, the nice thing about seeing the animation first, which we don't usually get to do, is you really get a sense of how it should feel. And I think that sort of automatically slips into it when you watch it and you put yourself as an actor in those situations.
Yeah, we came in. I hadn't read a script when we were brought in, so we really relied on the director, Michael. Spencer Nicholas. Michael Nicholas, the greatest guy. I mean, I really relied on him to kind of guide me through the story. And the visuals that they did, that these guys put out, are so stunning. So that was it was a real combination of that partnership with Michael and stuff. It was really fun.
What was the question? No, I don't think I changed anything really. And I've said this before. Batman sort of lives in a relatively confined box as far as what you can do with the character before it starts to feel very disingenuous or not like the Batman that we all know. So I would say a variation on Arkham Origins Batman, not so much Batman Unlimited, which I had the opportunity to do. That was more for kids. But I don't think you want to. I mean, even though it's a fish out of water story, I don't think we want to hear Batman freaking out the second that he finds out he's in feudal Japan. So we just kind of played around with the fish out of water, but him still being a very competent detective. So nothing too different in terms of the way that Michael and I approached. And it's Michael Sinter Nicholas, which is the worst possible name to try to pronounce. So, but yeah, that was our approach.
Some of you have had anime experience, and some of you might be anime fans. How did this experience differ from what you're used to?
で、お二人はアニメのファンであるかどうかわかんないですけど、もしもアニメのファンだとしたら、やっぱりその今まで手がけたまたはすごく個人的に好きな作品に比べてバットマンニンジャはどう違いますか？
You mean DC animation or do you mean the Japanese animation?
いや、その DC じゃなくてもともと日本に存在するアニメ作品と比べてはバットマンニンジャはどう比例すると思いますか？
今までやっぱり子供の時からアニメ好きでずっと見てて、やっぱりいっぱいヤマト、ガンダム、いろいろ見てるんですけれども、そういうやっぱり過去見てきた作品の中で自分たちが好きだったもの、そういう要素に、リスペクトしながら、その上に自分たちならではのアイデアを乗っけてでしかも今回の場合はその、日本的な特撮アニメのある種お約束をバットマンたちに味わってもらおうっていうのが日本側のコンセプトだったので、そういうその日本的なアニメのエッセンスを凝縮して、ぶつけたのがこのアニメだと思ってます。
So I personally did watch anime as a child, and so I have many titles that I'm very fond of, whether it's Yamato, Battleship Yamato, or Gundam. And I think what I feel is that certainly I was influenced by all these titles that came before me, and kind of used the raw material, what's at the heart of them, and respect that, and yet add to it because we're many years later. And then also to include aspects of tokusatsu or special effects series, and kind of create something that is obviously a Western property, but add a very unique Japanese element to it.
そうですね、デザインの方だと、僕ももちろんアニメ大好きなんです。めちゃめちゃ子供の頃から見てました。で、デザインに関してだと、今回は 3D モデルのキャラクターだったので、ディティールをかなり詰め込んで、作りました。こんだけディティール詰め込んで描いたのは初めてだと思うんですけど、それを監督の水崎さんがそのまま、動かしてくれたので、でもそこがやっぱ今まで僕が関わったものとは全く違うところだったと思います。
So in terms of the character design, I am a huge anime fan myself. I also watched tons of anime since I was a kid. But I think what's different about Batman Ninja compared to any anime I've worked on or that I've admired is that there's a lot of 3D modeling. And so I really jam-packed a lot of detail, very fine detail into it. And I think this is the first time I've actually put this much detail into something I've designed. And I was very fortunate because director Misaki totally preserved all that detail into the final product. So I think that would be my answer.
Any anime thoughts down that way?
So I got my start in, and I keep looking at Gary for every
Never look at me, Rob.
Gary. I got my start in anime as a voice actor. That was one of the first gigs that you really kind of get an opportunity to do. So Deidara and Naruto and Bleach, Shinji Hirako and Bleach, and recently Agretsuko. And so for me, it's refreshing because we do a lot of similar things from anime to anime to anime, and it was refreshing to see how original this approach was, to not necessarily, while paying homage to the genre, not necessarily dive too deep into it in certain ways. And one of the things that we do in anime very often, so often, we literally have called it a 102 for whatever reason. Like Michael would say, give me a 102 on this next loop, and the 3 beeps come and you go, huh? That's 102. And we didn't have a lot of that Batman. It doesn't feel very Batmanish to be going, so for that, I'm thankful. But that's the anime experience that was different for me in this one.
So glad you answered that question. I thought it's not that different from other anime. Oh yeah, I don't want to look at you. And I don't want to look at you. I know that. But when you're acting and you take on a character, you don't say in your head, oh, this is for anime, or this is for a game. You think, I'm going to do the best acting that I can and really be in those moments. And so I'd say the biggest difference is that obviously Harley and Batman, all these characters are not from the anime world, whereas previous anime stuff we've done, it's been anime type characters. So that might be the only difference, but in terms of the acting beats, it's completely the same as any other acting stuff I've done, except for Roger. I don't know what you're doing, but
Roger and I dated for a time, so I know what that sound is. It's all right. We'll just cuddle, Roger.
Ray, let's hear your noise once more.
Except that with the dating, it would have ended with me crying. That's how it would have been.
All right, all set. Well, you know what, Tony? I know we've asked this before, but could you give everybody an idea of what it was like stepping into the Joker role? I mean, where was this something you wanted to do? Was this a character you wanted, or is this just?
I mean, I mentioned this last night. The characters I typically do are kind of meek and wide-eyed and innocent, and it was fun to kind of play lascivious and dark, and there was a lot of screaming in this one, and a lot of laughing. But it was fun to go. I rarely get able to do that, so that was really, really fun. And thanks for being here.
All right, there's a lot of the audience that has not seen the movie yet. So here's a quick question for you. Let's see if we can play this one. Without giving away spoilers, can you tell the audience a scene, a moment, a line, a character, something that can tell them why they must see this movie?
まあ大半の方はまだ見てないファンが多いので、あんまりネタバレしなく、なんか好きなセリフとか場面とかキャラクターを教えてください。ネタバレにならない程度で。Oh my god, that's hard.
皆さん猿は好きですか？
Do any of you like monkeys?
Yeah. Lots and lots of monkeys.
I mean, it's the fight scene you always wanted to see with Catwoman and Harley.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Did you see it?
Some people don't leave if you start seeing the credits come, just like the comic book looking type credits, because there's a whole really juicy little ending on it, and a bunch of people left the theater last night. And I was like, bye suckers, we're missing a really funny part. So yeah, if you tell your friends if they see a screening, don't leave when you start seeing the credits. It's more.
I really think it is eye candy, this film. It is so beautiful, and these artists did just such a fantastic job. The visuals are just stunning. So please, please, please check it out.
The single coolest haircut Batman has ever had.
You'll know.
Is Marty doing an amazing job or what? Marty says she's dying. It's not she's got choking. It's the answers they're giving that are killing her. What other DC character would you like to see done in this style?
この作品に登場しなかった DC キャラクターで将来描きたい、お話書きたいキャラクターは誰ですか？ You go first. No, you go first.
我々はサンドマンで頑張りたいと思います。
We're thinking Sandman?
マットマン忍者見てもらえば分かると思うんですけど、あの映像表現だったら僕はサンドマンができると思っています。
And the reason why is because for those of you who have seen it, and for those of you who haven't, once you have seen it, you'll understand this. But with that kind of level of art quality, I'd love to see Sandman made in the same style.
Yeah. あとスーパーマンね。
And of course, Superman. Come on.
Well, I'd of course love to do Batgirl. That'd be fun. Really fun. And we actually did a really cool special together. I was Huntress. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Birds of Prey? Who were you?
I was not Catwoman. I was Black Canary.
So that'd be cool. Huntress and Canary. And just put all the chicks in it.
I'm curious who you guys would want to see in this style.
Nightwing! He's in the movie. Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Deathstroke.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Actually, I can't talk which Green Lantern. Batman Beyond.
I know, right? Jeez.
Spider-Man, because you know
all of them.